All right, everybody, let's look at our worksheet again. We need four formulas. We're going to take this formula. This is for a vertical axis of symmetry. You can either have the positive version or the negative version. In other words, the parabola opens up to the positive vertically, or the parabola opens up to the negative vertically. And then you also have the horizontal one. It's solved out for x. You can have a positive version, in other words, the parabola opens to the positive x, or you can have a negative version, and the parabola opens to the negative x. So they're stacked one on top of another. Now that I've got all four of the different ways that this can go, I'm going to take my guided practice. My guided practice starts out with x squared equals negative 2y, which is sort of frustrating because neither one of my formulas have like that x squared starting. They have the y though, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this equation, solve it for y, so that we can match it up with this rule. So we're going to say, if we divide by negative 2, we've got y equals x squared over negative 2. So let's take this to our note sheet. We're going to have y equals x squared over negative 2. Another way to write this, of course, is just y equals negative 1/2 x squared. Well, our template was y equals 1 over 4p x squared. Like that. So that means that these fractions are going to be the same. In other words, negative 1/2 equals 1 over 4 times p. So we just need to solve this out for p. I can multiply both sides by 4p, and I'm going to get, that'll cancel out to 1, 1 divided by 1, and then, see here, 4p divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is just 2, so negative 2p equals 1. And I'm still solving for p, so p equals negative 1/2. Fantastic. So now we know the distance from the vertex. When I look at my equation, negative 1/2 x squared, I know that my vertex has to be 0, because there's nothing over here. There's no h, there's no k. So vertex happens at 0, 0. Our p is negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. So that means our focus is going to be down here at negative 1/2. Here's my focus. My directrix then has to be at positive 1/2. If my focus is down here, I know that my focus is actually inside of my parabola. So it's going to look something like that. There's the focus. It's at 0 when x is 0, and then negative 1/2 on the y side. My directrix is going to be right up here at y equals positive 1/2. And then my axis of symmetry is going to be here at x equals 0. And now I have my graph, directrix, vertex, focus, and axis of symmetry. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4 gives us the equation negative 5x plus 1 over 3 y squared is 0. When I look on my equations, none of them are actually solved for y squared. They're actually solved for either x or y. I already have an x and a y in this equation, so I'm just going to actually solve this for x. Add 5x to both sides, and I've got 1/3 y squared equals 5x. Let's divide through by 5. We now have 1/3 divided by 5, which we're going to keep, change, and flip. We'll keep the 1/3. We'll change that to multiplication. We'll flip the fraction. And I've got 1/15. And now we'll simplify. So we've got 1/15 y squared equals x. So this equation now is a match for our template over here. We have x equals 1/4p y squared. X equals 1/4p y squared. Same thing. Now we're able to set these two equal to one another. So where 1/15 equals 1/4p. I'm going to multiply both sides by a positive 4p. This means that 4p divided by 15 equals 1. Now I can multiply both sides by 15. So that 4p equals 15. And p equals 15/4. Knowing that, that means I know exactly where my vertex is now. So when we go to graph it, if we're using the second template, we know that the parabola will open left to right. My p is positive, so that means it's going to open to the positive side. Since I don't have any other terms over here, I know that this has to be a 0, 0 vertex. The p distance is 15/4. That's out here. This must be your focus. That means negative 15/4 must be your directrix. Parabola opens this way. And that means my axis of symmetry Cool. So here we have our vertex at 0, 0, the focus at 15/4, 0, the directrix at negative 15/4, and your axis of symmetry at y equals 0. Let's try number 3, and then we'll move on.